to another video in my podcast. My name is Cheryl, and this is Cappuccino Crafts, my little channel on YouTube, my little corner of the interwebs, and where I like to talk about knitting and a little bit of crochet, and also books and TV and movies and other general life and chatty things that I feel like sharing with you. Thank you so much for choosing to watch this video and spending a little bit of your time with me. This really is my way of having a little crafting night, a little crafting community for myself, because it's not really practical for me to get out and go to a knit night or a craft night in person. So I love to interact in the comments if you feel like sharing what you're working on or sharing your thoughts about anything I chat about, or what you're reading, what you're watching, what you're enjoying, and what you're drinking, because I love to drink coffee and tea. In 2019, I really started exploring tea, and I'm really enjoying that too. So what are you drinking? Whatever you feel like saying in the comments, or if you have a question, please feel welcome to ask questions in the comments. Yeah, wonderful. So today is Monday, the 20th of January, which is in the United States, which is where I live. I share this house in Washington State with my two parents, and we also have a fluffy black cat. I take care of my parents. That's my full-time occupation, and yeah, it's good and it's difficult at the same time, but I feel it can be a privilege to be able to do that for the people that you love. And yeah, that doesn't mean it doesn't get complicated, because it sure does. But anyway, I'm sure a lot of you understand. Yeah, I'm sure many of you understand with parents or with your kids, or anyway. Yeah, I didn't mean to get on that tangent. Let's get to the crafts. Let's get on track. I did cast on an exciting new project. It was a little bit of a challenge to choose. I ended up just deciding on a yarn and then saying, I'm going to find something to do with this yarn. And it is a beautiful yarn. This is Araucania Huasco DK. Here is the label. The colorway is number 26, Mockingbird Multi. And I love this combination of a gold or bronzy color with some aqua mint pale blue-green. That's one of my favorite color combinations. And this yarn, this gorgeous yarn, was a gift from my parents last year around my birthday time. And so I am really excited to use it. I've just been kind of dreaming about what I might do with it, and I finally decided I am knitting a cowl. It's got texture. There's a little bit of cable. There's a little bit of a slip stitch texture stitch, and there's a little bit of lace. So it's got a lot of variety. It's really fun. Here is what I have so far. You can see some of those textures. Now, the textures would show up just a bit better with a solid yarn, but this still shows enough of the texture that I'm really happy with it. I don't think the color changes distract too much, and I like how it's turning out. This cowl, the name of this cowl is Estella, and it was designed by Daniel Nunez, and I recommend the pattern. It's been a good one, and he has both written instructions and a chart. So whichever way works for you, you've got both. So that makes it easily accessible for people that like different kinds of patterns. And I am really progressing on my socks. I did German short row heels this time, which isn't my go-to. I pretty much have heel flap and gusset memorized, and I can do it in my sleep. But it's only been a couple of years that I found a way to make short row heels work to fit my foot. And that was with adding a mini gusset, and I got the pattern for the mini gusset from Mina Phillip. And I gave a lot more detail about doing a short row heel in my last video. So if you really want more information about heels and where I got my heel pattern and things, it's all in the last video. But yeah, I like being able to have a different option and just change it up. We need to change it up sometimes, you know, we really do. So I love the colors on these socks. These colors are making me so happy right now. I'm kind of on a color binge with those kind of colors, and I am not disappointed in it. Not disappointed at all. I also am working on the sleeve now. This is the first sleeve. It is the right sleeve of my favorite color cardigan, which is a free pattern on nitty.com. And I highly recommend that pattern too. Very, very good. I did finish all the edging. It's curling right now. I am pretty sure that after blocking it will not curl, but this was a little bit different way of doing a garter edging, doing it vertically as an applied border, and I thought that's a fantastic detail. And I have not read ahead to see if that's what she recommends to do on the cuff, but I'm pretty sure she will, because she seems to be thinking through all those details. But even if she doesn't, even if she has a different idea for the cuff, I'm going to do that same applied garter anyway. So the crafting is going well. I'm loving everything, and I hope your crafting is going well too, and that whatever you're working on, you're enjoying a lot. And let's see. I'm looking at my notes. I did make some notes. Yes. I just finished. I didn't watch it last night because I know Sunday evening I just got busy with other things. But today, earlier, I watched the newest episode of Doctor Who. I so enjoyed it. I really, really, really liked it. And that's probably because of my own bias, because it was a historical in Earth history, and they were with Tesla, Nikola Tesla, who is one of I really enjoy, he's a fascinating historical scientist, so ahead of his time, and there has already been a lot of fiction about him, because he's just such a fascinating figure, and a lot of drama. One of the big dramas in his life was actually the very bitter feud he had with Thomas Edison, who was an inventor and scientist at the same time, and they were both promoting different electrical currents when electricity was beginning to be integrated into society, and cities and needed electricity, and they were trying to establish electrical grids and how to get electricity to the people. And so Edison, of course, invented direct current, and Tesla invented alternating current, DC and AC. And so they were feuding and competing with which kind of current was going to be the one that the world was going to use. And anyway, so I find that Edison and Tesla feud very interesting and dramatic. And they were very opposite kind of personalities, very opposite approaches to science and inventing. But I just I was so happy to see a Tesla story, and of course Edison was also included. So Edison was a character too, so we got to see some of that. And I was all here for it. It really didn't even matter to me whether the aliens were going to be well designed or interesting villains. I didn't care. I just wanted all the Tesla and Edison. So yeah, I was very biased about this episode. I do want to just note a couple of fictionalized Tesla stories that I have enjoyed. There's a novel that I'm not sure how many people have read. It's only got 305 ratings on Goodreads. So I feel like this novel could get a little more attention. But it's called The Kingdom of Ohio. The Kingdom of Ohio, and it is an alternate history story with it's an alternate history with elements of a little bit fantastical, sci-fi, possibly supernatural, I don't know, but some fantastical elements to it, and alternate history timeline, all about Tesla. And so good. So Um, it's not like an amazing novel. There were some things I didn't enjoy, but overall, it's really good, and if it sounds like something you might like, please check it out. Also, there is a historical fiction novel that very, very tangentially references Edison and the Edison-Tesla feud. It's very tangential. So I know maybe it's kind of silly to mention it. But in Ragtime by E.L. Doctorow, yeah, because he really explores a lot of the changes and a lot of the things that were transforming in society at that time. And so he does give a little bit of a reference to Edison and Tesla in that. And anyway, okay. Also, in the TV series Sanctuary, Tesla, which is a sci-fi fantasy show about a secret society called the Sanctuary that deals with supernatural and non-human creatures and entities. To kind of keep the peace and also keep the lid on the existence of those kind of supernatural, fantastical beings, both for the protection of those beings, because not all of them are evil, but also for the protection of humanity from the ones that are really powerful and really dangerous. So yeah, Sanctuary, it was a Canadian TV show. I forget how many seasons it ran. Tesla was a recurring character. He would come in and out of several of the seasons. I always enjoyed the episodes that Tesla appeared in. I liked the actor. I thought his take on Tesla, his interpretation of Tesla's personality was kind of fun. And just the banter that he had with the regular cast was always really witty and fun. So I enjoyed Tesla as a recurring side character in Sanctuary. Also, Tesla features really pretty prominently in the movie The Prestige, which is a kind of historical, fantastical story. And a really well done movie. I think it's a great movie. Really beautiful to look at, and the acting is really good. The way the storytelling goes is really good. I highly recommend that movie. If like historical, fantastical mystery is up your alley. And I don't know, a lot of you may already have watched or read or whatever some of these, because I know Tesla is a lot of people are really interested in Tesla. But those are the things that come to my mind that I have fictional stories that I've really enjoyed that deal with him. And of course, there are so many history and science documentaries that are not fiction that explore his life and explore his scientific inventions and his scientific theories, and those are fascinating too. I just don't remember any titles of any of them that I've seen. And I think most of them were episodes of history documentary series. Anyway, I can't really tell you any titles, but there have been a lot of historical and scientific documentaries that are really interesting to watch. I'm sure there's some great nonfiction books. I have not read any nonfiction books about him. If you have any fiction or nonfiction that you really love about Tesla, I would love to hear about it because I want to check it out. So if you are a Tesla fan too, and you know of some things you recommend that I have not ever heard of, I would love to hear your recommendations. I'd like to check those out and get into them. So, I think that's about it for today. Yeah, the crafting, the Doctor Who and Tesla. Yeah. So, I don't know, who are some of the historical characters that you really like to geek out about, or that you love to see appear in your fiction, or that you like to watch or read nonfiction about? There's so many really amazing historical people to learn about and to enjoy through nonfiction or historical fiction, or alternate timeline historical fantasy. I'm definitely not opposed to alternate timeline historical fantasy. That can be really fun. Anyway, there's so much you can explore with all the fascinating historical characters. So if you have some favorite historical people that you like to read about, watch documentaries about, that you think I would enjoy, I'd love to hear about them too, and find some new people to geek out about. Yeah. Anyway, so have a wonderful week. I hope that your week went well. We are getting to the closing parts of January. So we are really getting into the full 2020 new year. Time is going. It never stops. Anyway, so I hope it's good for you, that you and your family are well, and take care. Happy crafting. Enjoy all your projects and your creative visions. And see you next time. Bye-bye.